Andy Sullivan, Blue Collar Corner. I'm here in Sheepshead Bay, and they're having a protest and a counter-protest in regards to the building of a mosque here on Voorhees Avenue. Now, I'm with Jose, and Jose, you are pro-mosque?
Absolutely. I'm pro-religious liberty and religious freedom.
Okay, so you feel that they have a right to build a mosque here?
Absolutely.
All right, but what about as far as the changing of the neighborhood, maybe the call to prayer, interfering with the actual personality of the neighborhood? You have no problem with that?
First of all, I'll tell you, my folks live in Carroll Gardens. There's a mosque that's not super far from there, and the call to prayer is beautiful. It's one of the most beautiful sounds that you can hear. It rivals a Christian church bells that ring, every few hours and stuff. And it's a song, and it comes out on speakers. It livens up the neighborhood. It makes it sound beautiful, and it doesn't scare, intimidate anybody. It doesn't wake people up at any weird hours. My folks have never woken up to it. It just makes them feel a little bit better about their neighborhood.
Well, are you from this area?
I live up in Flatbush. My whole family's up in Flatbush area.
Are you familiar with this area?
Yeah, sure. I have a lot of friends down here.
Okay, is it primarily a Muslim community?
I think most of Brooklyn is a little mixed. I mean, there are certainly predominantly Russian neighborhoods, predominantly Italian neighborhoods, predominantly black neighborhoods.
What about this one in particular?
This one's predominantly Russian, and I know people here from Uzbekistan, from Kazakhstan, and from several other Central Asian republics who are Muslim themselves, and Russian is their first language. So I think that this has always been, as far as I've been alive, a mixed neighborhood religiously.
Okay, but do you feel that the community itself, especially when you're talking about a large building like this, and changing of the personality and face of the community, don't you believe that they should have a say what is built here and what isn't? I mean, if this could be a movie theater or a shopping mall.
Well, look, first of all, I think that there are certain basic credos that we have in this country. And one of the top is freedom of speech, freedom of religion. And that means that you can't necessarily always trust a majority to be able to persecute a minority's belief system. That was why people came to this country, and that was one of the reasons that this country was allegedly founded.
Yeah, but from a municipality standpoint, I mean, you have to have boundaries. You have to say, okay, this is going to be set for this. We're going to have this in that area. Like, you can only have liquor license in a certain area. You can only have a school within a certain area. And you can only have something that completely interrupts the whole, back and forth and interaction of a neighborhood. You have to have some kind of boundaries. The community should have say in what goes there, yes or no?
I think that it is a very different thing to talk about liquor license and a religious a place of worship.
Well, I'm talking about a building. As a liquor license, I mean, we're talking about a license to have a liquor.
Again, what the belief system that this country was founded upon was not that we can build liquor stores and bars everywhere, and was not that you can build
exactly
strip clubs or anything like that.
Exactly.
But that you can build places of worship, and that people
that's not true. You can't. Not anywhere you like
to practice their faith.
Not anywhere you like, though. I mean, there's the same. When you refer to the First Amendment, that's something that each individual can do on his own. Absolutely, I'm with you there. But when you're talking about constructing a massive building, that's something different. Yeah. All right, that's something that includes not just a person or not just a few people. This concerns the whole entire neighborhood. So if it's going to impact the neighborhood should have a say in what's built.
I think one of the things that I notice about people who criticize the mosques is they criticize it supposedly near ground zero, and they say, well, just not right here. And then you come out to Sheepshead Bay or you go to Staten Island, and they say, well, we just don't want the mosque here in our neighborhood. And then you go to Murfreesboro, Tennessee, and we don't want the mosque here. And then you go to Florida, and there's another struggle against a mosque. It is a symptomatic of a national wave of bigotry and prejudice, not I just don't want a mosque around here, because they don't want a mosque anywhere in this country, generally speaking. Most of the folks on that side of the fence don't want a mosque here. They don't want Muslims in this country.
Okay, but we do have over 2,500 mosques in the country as we speak, and right now we got over 200 mosques in New York.
We also have a lot of Muslims, and we have a growing Muslim population. But it's if there's liberty in Islamic countries, which there perhaps was going to be in Tunisia and Egypt, maybe that'll change.
That's a huge quantum leap you're making there, Jose.
But in the end, well, that's one of the reasons people come to this country is for basic liberty.
I agree.
Religious liberty,
absolutely,
social liberties, and other things like that.
Correct.
And that means that they have a place. They should have a place to worship wherever they want. Right? If there's a population here who believes in Islam, then they should, be able to worship and pray to Allah wherever their community exists.
And how do you feel about Peter King's hearings?
I think Peter King's hearings are a witch hunt. I think what's interesting is...
So you lost me there.
Same day that...
I was with you that much, you lost me.
Same day that Peter King started his thing, search for Islamic extremists, what he did with...
He doesn't have far to search, come on now. It's in the paper almost every other day.
Yeah, and
we're desensitized to it.
Same exact day, in Spokane, Washington, they decided that it was white supremacists who tried to bomb the Martin Luther King march in Spokane, Washington. White supremacists, Christian extremists, Muslim extremists. If we want to study, extremism, we should study all extremism.
We do.
And Christian terrorism in this country and white supremacist terrorism.
When's the last Christian terrorist act?
They killed the Dr. Tiller in Kansas.
One guy, how long ago?
Well, there's been more recent stuff than that. There was the guy who was trying to drive to San Francisco against the Tide Foundation. There's if you check the Southern Poverty Law Center, or frankly,
what about Fort Hood?
There are Muslim, Christian, Jewish, frankly, Hindu.
What about Fort Hood? I gave you a specific example.
I think that Fort Hood is an isolated case, just like Spokane is. But
what about the fact that Anwar al-Awlaki, who's now the #2 guy over Osama bin Laden, was actually teaching chaplains within the Pentagon?
I think that there's also Nazis who are moving into the United States military consciously.
Okay, but you keep on redirecting. I'm asking you a specific question.
If we're going to go after extremism, and if we're going to go after terrorism, we need to do it.
This is the one that keeps coming up, though.
So does
we become desensitized to it.
We are completely desensitized to white supremacist violence and to Christian violence in this country, and we don't discuss it. If we're going to go after extremism and terrorism, we have to go across the board. We have to go against all of it.
Anytime I ask somebody about white supremacist, Catholic, Christian extremism, all I hear is Tim McVeigh, and that was.
I just gave you
15 years. You gave me I don't know anything about Spokane. Well, I don't know anything about that one either. And the Tiller guy I know about, and that happened a couple of years ago. But if you want to talk, we could just talk what happened in the last few months. I mean, it's just getting ridiculous.
One just happened in January. That was Martin Luther King Day. And that was a white supremacist who tried to bomb a parade.
White supremacy and Christian. I don't see the...
There are two different kinds of terrorism, just like Islamic terrorism. And if we're going to go after extremism, then we have to go against all extremism, and we can't, corner one community.
Did you lose anybody at 9/11 at the Trade Center? Yes, I did. Who did you live?
I was an SEIU shop steward.
Who did you live?
I didn't know them very well. There was some SEIU.
So you didn't lose any family or loved ones?
No. I had friends who were in that escaped. I had an ex-girlfriend who got out. But yeah, 9/11 was a terrible thing. You know what? Muslims died there, Jews died there, Christians died there, Hindus died there. I don't think that you can say, well, Muslims, some of one community did something, and therefore we're not going to like any of them, because white people did what happened in Oklahoma City. Just like
what do you worship?
What do I worship? I actually don't go to places of worship in order to worship. I believe in the greater something, but I'm not sure what. No.
Okay, fair enough. Jose, thank you very much.